Hello, we are back again, and this is, of course, Talk Labor with Jerry Williams. Again, that'll be me. We're having a great time here. I want to thank you, the viewer, for keeping our show #1. You know we have tough competition here. We have some great people here, but you guys and your viewers are just keeping us right there at the top, and we really appreciate that. Now we're going to get right into the show today. We got some great guests. We're going to bring on today that I think that you will be very, very interested in. What I always tell you is what? When you got the megaphone here, not just a microphone, you got a megaphone because we reach all over the world. And you get an opportunity to talk about some of the things that are very good, and then you talk about some of the things that are detrimental to you. It's important that you talk about things that are detrimental because if you keep it to yourself and don't talk about it, it can and will become a quiet injustice. And it can endanger you and all the people around you. I tell you that every week because I want to keep you aware of that. Now we got some things we want to talk about today. First thing I want to talk about, I don't know if you all have heard this or not, but you know we had a crusade on this show. And people all over Chicago were working to get this done. But I think, and I'm happy that we played a crucial part in this. You remember Howard Morgan, the brother that was shot 28 times by the police, left for dead, thought he was dead, but he stayed there. They didn't kill him. God kept him on this earth for a reason. I don't know what it is, but I think that he kept him here for a reason. We'll find that out somewhere down the road. But the good news is we've been trying to work to get him out, and guess what? He's out of prison. Yes. He is out of prison. I want to halfway thank Pat Quinn for doing what he did. I think that he should have got a full pardon, but we're not going to argue about the fact that he's out of jail. What Pat did was commuted his sentence, which meant that whatever he served is time served. He's out now. They gave him 40 years for catching 28 bullets. You understand what I'm saying? He got 40 years for catching 28 bullets. If you all remember, he was stopped, routine traffic stop. When they stopped him, these cops, these Chicago cops, he told them he was a former Chicago policeman, which he was, but he was working for the railroad at that time as a policeman for the railroad. Did he have a gun? Yes, because his job required him to have one. For whatever reason, they shot him 28 times, said he tried to pull a gun on him and shoot him. Now, why would you pull a gun on 5 cops and, you're there by yourself? But they shot him 28 times, said he tried to resist arrest. Now, problem I got to is the guy from the Fraternal Order of Police is outraged that he's been let out of jail, and he hates Pat Quinn for doing it. You see, you know what I talk about all the time, why unions are dwindling? This guy right here is one of the reasons why. The president of the Fraternal Order of Police. What union would say something like that? Even if it's your people shooting people down like dogs, you should stay the heck out of that. Okay? There's no reason for that man to have been shot like that. There's no reason. You thought he was dead. And you look at all the things that's going on, like the brother in New York, Ronald, choked to death. The kid in Ferguson shot and left there 4 hours, shot 4 or 5 times by a cop. The little 12-year-old boy, they jumped out the car and shot him dead. Man standing in Walmart's with a BB gun, ran in and shot him dead. These are all African Americans. All African Americans. And all we ask for is justice. When these guys do these, remember I told you, go back and look at the archives of my show. I told you that if we had cameras on the Chicago police, we would have been known this, because that's what they do. That's what they do. But now you saw the cameras and they tell you can't believe your lying eyes. That man was pleading for his life. I can't breathe, I can't breathe. He didn't really say that. This is the way they carry on. And when you see people out there saying Black Lives Matter, hands up, don't shoot, no, they hate these protesters. These are the cops. And when I say cops, I don't mean all cops. Let's get that straight. 80% of the police are very good policemen. But these little rogue cops that I talk about all the time are still out there. Howard, we are so glad and so jubilant that you're out. We're going to be talking with you. We're going to see if we can't get, we had Howard's wife on our show. And she came in and gave us great information. And we went out and did some work to try to get Howard free. And we were just happy to be a part of getting this brother free. He's free now. I haven't seen him yet. My producer said she saw him walking with a cane. Oh, that is so beautiful. We're going to we're going to attempt to get Howard on this show and have him come up and talk about some of the things that happened to him. And I want to know why these cops are not, questioned, or at least, do an investigation. Problem I have with this road cop thing too is, you all take a look at this. And a lot of people, well, Jerry, you're too black. Well, y'all look at me, I'm black. I'm gonna be black. I'm black outside, I'm black inside. Don't mean I hate white people. I love them just as much as I love black people, white people. But I don't like racists, okay? When people are racist and murderers, then I don't like them, black or white. But the problem I got with these road cops is that nobody wants to prosecute them. There was a young man that was shot, he's a white person. He was shot and killed, he was wrongfully killed. He really had kind of a problem. And they told him to put his gun, he didn't have any guns, sorry. He had a knife. They told him to put his knife down because he was living out in the wilderness, he needed his knife. He said, okay, he put his knife down, and they shot him dead. They just started shooting him. Got it all on film. Now these cops that shot him is facing life in prison, which is great. But why aren't these people facing life in prison that killed this young man in New York? Remember I said the guy that they just killed was white. Why are these guys not facing life in prison? Now there was a gentleman in Park Forest that had a 7-inch knife and was going crazy and all that stuff. Police came and they shot him, this black police officer shot him with bean bags to try to bring him down, keep him killing him. He was an old guy and he died. Now, what are they doing? They said they want to put the black guy in jail. The black cop, they're saying they want to put him in jail. And this guy, and I say it to you and I say it to him, Cass, reporter for the Chicago Tribune, total jackass. He said that this is what you should be protesting about. He killed this old man. I'm going to go to the court to make sure he gets what he got coming. This is the way they think. And if you don't wake up, if you don't open your eyes, then, shame on you. But if you don't want to talk about it, come to Jerry. I'll say it. I'll say it. If you don't want it to be said, don't let it come out your mouth, because I'll definitely talk to you about it. But with that, we got some good things that's going to be happening today. I can't get to the questions from my email account. I got them piling up, but folks, believe me, I'm going to answer those questions. I just have so much stuff going on right now that it's kind of hard to get to. We're going to be dealing with the mayor of Dalton. It's coming on our show in February. We got people that's running for mayor in Country Club Hills that's coming on our show also in February. But we're still going to try to get to some of the things that you request, some of the answers that you request on our email, and that's talklabor@gmail.com. We're going to get to that, okay? But first, let me do this. Let me give a shout out to a guy, you guys know I talk about this young man all the time, T.L. Wlliams, artist and performer. He works with this guy very closely with this guy, Rhymefest, who is a writer, arranger, producer here in Chicago. Well, let's give a shout out to Rhymefest. His song was voted, I think, they won this. Rhymefest, Common, and John Legend wrote this song for Selma. And their song was nominated, and I think they won it. Golden Globe. So Rhymefest, who's right here. This is one of our guys that we hang out with, and he wrote for Kanye West and just all kind of things. And he Common and John Legend. Shout out to them guys. They did a great job, especially Ryan Fest. Now I just heard today that it's nominated for the Oscars. Yes. Am I correct? Mm-hmm. Okay, it's nominated for the Oscars. Just shows you what you can do, how close you are, and what the talent is here in Chicago and in the Midwest. So I want to give a shout out to them guys. And Ryan Fest is going to be on my show too. So we're going to have him on. One other thing I want to talk about, Infinite Scholar, the Infinite Scholar program. If you've been watching this show, you know that we gave out $19 million in scholarships in September of last year to high school kids. Our Infinite Scholar program. You can go ahead and clap. I don't mind, because that's great. These kids got all that in education. I want to thank the people that helped us. Now, I am the regional director here in the Chicagoland area. I want to thank the people that reached out and helped us. Number one, Karen Lewis from the Chicago Teachers Union. Not only, if you look on the screen, you can see all the things there. Karen Lewis from the Chicago Teachers Union stepped up really big, not only with donations, but she had her people get out and work with us to get them kids into our expo, our fair. We had a beautiful affair. It was great. They're still talking about Chicago's. We're part of Infinite Scholar, which is all over the country, and they've been in existence since 2003. They've raised over $1 billion in that amount of time for scholarships for kids. Now, at that time, we broke the record. We still have the record for the most money in one day. That's $19 million, Chicago, and we've only been in existence 2 years. So in Birmingham, I think they beat us with the number of kids that came out. But we still got the money. And we're going to get the kids this time. We're going to be out. We're going to be back in April of this year, 2015. And we're going to be at Michelle Clark High School on the west side of Chicago. I'm going to give you information as I did last time. We give out tons of scholarships. Michelle is a beautiful school. I don't know if you've ever been there on the west side of Chicago. I went there, talked with the administrators over there. Everything is set up. We got it beautifully set up. And what we do, we bring in colleges from around the country. We have over 250 some colleges that we use. And we're going to bring them in from around the country. And what we do, we have about 50 or 60 that come in and set up. And we bring the kids in from schools all over Chicago, suburbs, and everywhere. And they come in, and if you got the credentials, you're going to be able to secure a scholarship. It may not be the one you want, but if you got 3.0 and you up there in your ACT score, well, you're going to get a good scholarship. We had two young ladies. They were twins last year. Each one of them got $123,000 scholarship from Tuskegee. And that's just, I had them on my show. They were great. They must have been maybe 4'3", little bitty things, but they were smart. They were smart. They had colleges. When they stepped in the room, everybody else was chasing the colleges. The college started chasing them down. Well, they had a 5.0 grade point average and a 31 scored 31 on the ACT. That's what kind of talent we have. And it's so funny because some of the schools here, talking about the colleges, get upset because our kids leave. These colleges come in from out of state, and these kids leave and go to that college, and they're, well, why are you coming getting our kids? Well, you come and get them then. You can come. We leave an invitation open to everybody, so you can come. And so that's just one of the things that we're going to be talking about as time goes on. We got a lot of things to talk about today. And I'm going to bring my guest on right after this commercial is Brother Ronald Roach. We're going to talk about some of the things that's going on in labor today, because that's what we do. We're here to save the labor unions and the middle class Americans. Because without the unions, there would be no middle class America. We'll be right back, right after this commercial.
International Detective and Protective Services, 1-773-675-8506. Over 20 years of armed security experience. The very best in shopping mall security, inventory watch, find missing loved ones, investigative open legal cases, community policing. Are you taking a vacation this summer? For peace of mind, you need our house watch service, cheetah surveillance, and much more. International Detective and Protective Services, 1-773-675-8506. That's 1-773-675-8506. Call now.
Golden's Tropical World. Come to Golden's Tropical World for tropical fish of all sizes, colors, and types, and other small animals like iguanas and birds from all over the world. There are beautiful tanks, pet supply needs, including dog and cat foods, and expert consultation. Check out Golden's Tropical World, 8611 South Ashland Avenue, Chicago, Illinois. Call ahead, 773-239-8809. Your pet shop.
Okay, we're back, and as I promised, I have my guest with me, Mr. Ronald Roach. Ronnie, how you doing?
Hey, Jerry.
Buddy? How you feel?
Pretty good.
Pretty good. Okay, I see you're back.
Yeah, pleasure to be back always.
Yeah, how's the weather treating you out there?
It's rough, man.
It's rough.
Yeah, but we'll be all right.
Okay. Well, one of the things, you're one of my regular guests,
Right.
and with the elections and stuff coming up, the next 2 to 3 weeks and stuff like that.
Right.
I want to try to have you guys on as much as I possibly can. You know, I've extended invitations to people that feel that they want to be heard
Right.
and seen.
Yes, you
They can
have.
come on the show and talk about people. I mean, that vying to get offices in the local union.
Right.
Come out and you know, you can be heard and seen.
That's true.
Well, where are they, Roach?
Well, you have to understand, these people are trained to do a certain thing.
Okay.
And see, educated people ask questions and do. Trained people do as they told and no more.
So that's why they're not showing up. And now I've had Brother Tom Sams on here. He's very open.
Yes, he
talks
is.
about different things.
But he's educated.
Well, that's true.
He asks questions.
That's true.
He asks questions and he's qualified.
Right.
He's went to school. He's educated to do all the things that he talk about. So he don't have anything to hide.
Well, and in that sense and in that vein, I have a very intelligent young lady that's going to be on here tonight. She's vying for a show. So they're starting to, you know, it's great that people that have courage are starting to step up. One of the things that happens, like, if I got the mayor coming on from Dalton. This is the mayor of a city.
Yes.
He's coming on to talk about, you know, what he feels with the election coming up, their elections. I got 3 of his councilmen, or councilperson, coming up. They're going to be on to talk about what they need to talk
Right.
about, because they know people watch this show. They've checked it out.
That's right.
I've got candidates for mayor of Country Club Hill, and some of the aldermen coming on also that want to talk about some of the things to their people. They know that, you know, what the audience is like. Now, we have a pretty good audience from the Chicago Transit Authority.
Right.
And if these guys are running for office, seems like they should come on and talk about things. And before I said, I'm not going to bite you, you know, so what?
Well, if there's any truth to what they say, then they wouldn't have a problem coming on. Because truth bear witness to itself. You can just tell the truth and move on. You don't even have to remember what you said. Truth bears witness to itself. And the people that are telling the truth and mean and they're going to do everything that they said, they're here. But
Well, I'm glad you said that, because for a minute I thought they didn't like my cologne or something. You know?
no, it's
That's
not
not what it is.
It's not that. No, they like your cologne, but they have a great fear of you
okay.
pulling the cover off.
Oh, okay. Well, if there's nothing to hide, they should put a cover. You know.
Sure.
So yeah, I do ask questions. I ask tough questions,
Yes, you do.
but also give people the opportunity to explain everything that they want to, talk about what they want to.
But I can't answer your tough questions, though.
Yeah. Okay. Well, here's one thing that happened. Over the past few weeks, and I'm going to repeat it. We talked about some of the things that affect people, active and retired people.
Yes.
And Local 308 had an election
Yes, they
just
did.
recently. And the guy that was in there, Robert Kelly,
Yes.
and the vice president of the International, Javi Perez.
Yes.
Is that his name?
Yeah, Javier.
Javier Perez, okay. And he and Robert Kelly was at Local 308's union meeting bragging about another bill they got down in Springfield. It's supposed to be great for the people,
Yes.
and it's going to be good for you. But I got on this show and I explained to the members what that bill entailed.
Right.
You were here.
Yes.
And you talked about it, and it showed how detrimental that bill is. We just got rid of one.
Right.
Here you come back again telling people how great it is, and they're finna get you again. Now, and all credit to and a letter was put out there explaining that, telling people where they can go and find that bill, which was House Bill 2933. You can still go look at it, and you got to kill that, folks. It's laying there right now, but you got to go kill it. We told them where they can go find that. A lot of people did. When the election came, these people voted Robert Kelly out of office.
Yes, they did.
And if they could have, they would have voted Javier Perez out of office.
Yes, they would have.
You know, because they found out how detrimental that is to them. We took 6 years to fight this garbage that they did to us. They let the horse out of the barn. We went back and got it, put it back in the bond. They told us we were crazy, can't do it. We did it.
Yes,
Okay.
we did.
We got most of that horse back in the bond. We got half. We got half of it, and we believe we're gonna get the other half.
We are.
We got the portion for the retirees, but we believe we're going to get that one for the active members.
Yes, we will.
And we have one gentleman asked me. I was at a place yesterday and was talking to some people. He says, "This is a retiree." He said, "Jerry, when are we going to get that money?" You know, I said, "Well, it took 6 years to get us to where we are right now. Before the Supreme Court ruled in our favor. They just ruled a few months ago. Give them opportunity to work these things out. Our lawyers and CTA lawyers right now are working on trying to get a settlement and stuff like that, but it's going to take time.
Right.
And I can't tell you, it's going to be tomorrow, but I can guarantee you it won't be 6 years.
Right.
It's going to be worked out real soon. Now, the big thing is active members. You look really good. If you've been watching and reading in newspapers, watching television, they're telling you Supreme Court is just about 99% going to throw that bill out that they put in downstate.
Right.
You know what that means? All that money they took from you was illegal.
Yes, it was. Yes,
They're going to have to pay you your money
Yes,
back.
they are. Yes, they are.
This is what we were on the property telling members, and they were saying that, "Oh, you guys are crazy." The union was saying you were crazy, and they were saying that, "Get off the property." You were there, Roach.
Yeah,
Tell us
they
about
tried to have us arrested.
it. Yeah,
They did.
and we were at was it 77th Street,
74th Street.
74th Street, and what you tell us what happened over there?
They ordered us off the property, and we said no, and they threatened to call the police. That was, and it was said, all we're trying to do is explain to the people about the lawsuit and tell them the injustices that is being done to them, and we're fighting to get their money back.
Right.
And the manager came out and told us to leave, but he would call the police. Well, call the police.
Now, here's the thing I got about that. We're gonna win that one. We're gonna win that one, folks. But you all got to understand this. Your union, if you continue to allow your union to decline like it's declining, it's like being on the Titanic.
Yes.
You better do something about that. Everybody in this boat better grab an oar and start rowing. It's not about retirees. It's not about active members. It's not about 308, 241. It's about all of you. Management too. Get the rowing, especially you guys that can get out there and vote for people that's going to have your best interests at heart when they go and get into office.
You know, you said something, we talked about this maybe 15, 20 years ago. Stop voting for your drinking buddies. Stop voting for your homies. You know, I called it to your attention last week, a couple of weeks ago. Twice in the history that the international has come in and interfered with trying to keep a local man or a person running for office out of office. Once against you, and second time is against Brother Sam's. What do they fear? What do they fear that they'll get involved? That's none of their business in local elections. Right. Twice in history. I know in the last 40 years. And you know, we researched stuff and we went back. We couldn't find anything where they had ever done it in 112 years where the international interfered to keep two brothers out of office.
We're going to do this. We're going to talk about some of the things that happens when unions go in and sit down and negotiate contracts.
Okay.
And how people don't realize when they think they're winning, they're really losing.
Right.
And we'll point it out to them and show them how to do it. You know, there's a book called Ungrateful.
Yes, I know.
Written by this fine gentleman that I know.
Yeah, I know.
Former president of a union.
Yeah.
Had research from a great guy that did a lot of research on
Pretty
that book.
a little bit. Yeah.
That you should pick up.
You really should.
That's Ungrateful, the rise and fall of labor unions. And it told you about this long before it happened.
Yes, it did.
Now, and it also tells you how you get out of that. Yeah. And people got to understand that, okay? But we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back. And I want to introduce you to a young lady that I think you're going to be very impressed with. We'll be right back after this commercial.
Excuse me, what time are you guys leaving? We're going to rob your house tonight. Don't come closer. I have rabies.
Don't you wish there were warnings to protect you from life's risks? With diabetes, there is one. It's called A1C, a simple blood test that helps measure your risk of serious complications. Learn more at diabetesaA1c.org.
You didn't give up on sex. Don't give up on birth control either. There are more methods than you think. Find yours at bedsider.org.
Hart, what's going on?
I'm leaving.
Why? What did I do?
Not enough. You constantly ignore me. You barely eat anything healthy. You're half as active as you used to be. The pressure is just too much. I quit.
Okay, I get it. I'll do better. Just please, don't leave.
Okay. But remember, if I go, you go.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you. Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
We're back, and you know, we have fun here in the studio. I got the craziest producer you ever seen, but she's good. She does everything. I mean, she does everything. She makes sure that I look real cute. So, what do you mean she didn't do her job? But anyway, we're going to move on, and we're going to talk about some of the things that are really serious that's going on here in Chicago. We're talking about some of the elections, and I talk about people. If you got a voice, if you got something that you want to say, come on and let's talk about it. You know, I'm your friend. I'm going to be your friend after we finish. I may ask you tough questions, but, you know, that's just part of what we do, and you want people to ask you tough questions. I have a young lady with me now that I've known for quite some time, very intelligent young lady. Her name is Toy Bowers. Toy is an ATU. Remember? How you doing, Toy?
Hi, Jerry.
How you doing?
Good.
Great,
Thanks.
great. You look great.
Thanks.
And I understand you're running for office at ATU Local 241.
Yes, I am.
And what office would that be?
Financial Recording Secretary.
Okay. And so that means you'll be handling the finances of the local.
Exactly.
That's a big job because, you know, that's been the big issue with ATU Local 241, the finances.
Yes, it has.
Now, I understand you have experience as a financial person, financial secretary of a union. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, prior to being a member of 241, I was a member of 308, and that was my position in 308.
Oh, was it?
Yes.
Like I didn't know, right? Well, I know, and you know, being factual, I know that you were a great financial secretary. Now you left Local 308, and you became you got a job over at CTA that was a Local 241 job. Am I correct with that?
Yes, I'm in the office as a clerk, and when you're in the office positions, those are 241 positions.
So that's why you're running for you're able to run for the office of financial secretary?
Absolutely. I'm a 241 member in good standings. Other than that, I couldn't run.
Right, okay. But you got other experiences. You came in as a part-time person. You moved into, why don't you tell us your history?
So let me give you a little background.
Thank you.
Came in 1991 as a part-timer, train operator.
Okay.
Part-time for almost close to 5 years.
Okay.
if I remember correctly, if history serves me correctly, almost the longest part-timer ever in history. I think that's how you and I met.
Yeah.
I wasn't happy with that situation, if
I
you remember.
remember.
So you and I met, and that I became active in the union after that. I wanted things to change, and so I organized the part-timers.
Sure did.
And once I organized them, we started coming to the meetings and
Well, wait, back up. You skipped something because you organized those part-timers. I'm going to tell you, when she organized those part-timers, right, I was president of the union at 308. She brought them guys up to my office, man, all that. Well, how come we still, wait, I'm going to do what I said. You said you were going to turn us all over full-time. Did I turn you all over full-time?
Not only did you turn us over full-time, we had like any position you could go to, whatever position that the CTA had available, we had an option.
That's right.
You didn't have to stay in train service. We had an option to go to these different departments.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, I didn't stay in train service. I used my options. I looked around and I said, some of these departments, I'm not going to go into details, but some people were a little bit lighter than me and they weren't working hard, but they were making a lot of money. I said, I'm going to change departments and go where they are.
You're a smart girl.
So I went, and when I first went over to the department, I went as a car service, so that's when you clean the trains. And boy, I said, I ain't never worked this hard in my life. I went back to Jerry again. I said, we need to do a program. He said, well, what kind of program are you talking about? Where we sit down with the CTA and we collectively get with the city of Chicago and the union, and we get a program together to train our employees with the electrical background so I can repair the trains. But it was open to everybody that wanted to do it. But the catch was you still had to work at night and you went to school in the daytime. So I crammed this 2-year program into 6 months. Am I telling the truth here?
That's true. Sure did.
And I started repairing the trains. And at that time, I didn't have children, so I could do it. And I started making money just like they did. And so after that happened, I ran for executive board for that department. I was the first female ever elected to be on the executive board for that department. And to this day, I think they just elected one.
Yeah, they did.
But they'd never elected another one since then. And after that, I went to be recording financial secretary for Local 308. And I stayed there for quite some time.
You did. Did a great job.
Mm-hmm. I
Let
enjoyed
me ask you a
every
question.
moment.
Did the International ever come in and trustee you because you're paying? Give me a little bit on your history as far as that.
We were never trusteed. Our per capita was paid always on time. Our members were aware when assessments were going to come out of their checks. They were notified in a timely manner. We didn't have the problems that 241 had. So when I got in 241, I saw all the problems they were having. I knew it was the way it could be fixed. You just have to put experienced people in there and that are willing to take their time and do the work. Because it's work to be done in that position. It's not an easy fix. You just have to be willing to work to do it.
But as a financial secretary, is it, and this is one of the questions I always ask, and I know what the answer is. The members have a right to this, but would you make it transparent so they can see everything that's going on?
Oh, most definitely.
That's what the problem is.
Not only that, I just think that you have a responsibility to the membership. Before the money is being spent, you are supposed to talk to your members before you do that. And that is just something that I firmly believe in. Take it to the membership and get it approved first.
I know you guys are like that. If I had to, say if I had to go and downstate and I had to, get train fare and all that stuff, before, you paid anything. You guys would take it before the board, and you take it before the members.
And if we didn't have a board meeting, I used to call up the board, each individual board member, and call. You just had a responsibility to do that.
Right.
And just let me say this so you too. I was also the financial secretary for our Women's Caucus and the Black Caucus.
Yeah, you've been very busy, and I know you've been very active in the unions, and I'm happy to see you stepping up because we're all one, and what happens to one happens to the other, and that's what people have to understand.
Absolutely.
You know? And you want to get the unions back on its feet. You've been one, and you're I think you've been about the second or third person that's come on the show to talk about, that's actually running for office, that talks about what you plan on doing and how you plan on doing it. Okay. I think it's a great thing. I think it's something that nobody should be afraid to do that. And like I say, this show here is not just some little show. It's a show that you have big time people on this show, and it's a lot of viewers that see this show. And I want to thank you for coming on because, like I said before, a lot of people are just nervous about, they're nervous about coming on.
Well, thank you. It's my pleasure to share information.
Now you live in Chicago, right?
Yes, I do.
And you got a family?
Yes, I have 2 daughters and a husband of 27 years.
And your husband?
He's a bus instructor for Local 241.
Right.
Instructor
He's
Bowers.
been there a long time, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I know that guy. He's one of my best friends.
Yes, he is.
No, I like him a lot. And your daughters are beautiful.
Thank you.
Young ladies, and they're well groomed.
Thanks.
They remind me of the president's 2 girls. really, because you guys did a great job. I happen to know that. But any tough questions? I see somebody that, if you guys are on here, you can ask her questions. Maybe I'm not asking her because I'm throwing it out there. Whatever you guys want to ask, and I'm sure she'll be able to answer those. Now, when you guys go out and campaign, what do you do? How do you go? Where do you go? You know, you go to different bus garages and maintenance departments and stuff like that?
I go to bus garages, bus turnarounds, maintenance, PACE. If I see a bus on the street.
Yes. If you see a bus on the street, don't worry about that engineer. So I'll fire him if you get interviewed. Just go ahead.
Buses on the street, anywhere I see a bus, I stop, I talk to them.
By you being a maintenance person, you have experience in maintenance, and you'd be a great asset to the union. So I think that's a great thing. I'm not here right now to endorse. I will, but I'm right now here to do it. But I know that you are a you would be a great asset to ATU Local 241. Toy, I really appreciate you coming on, and we look to see you again. Hopefully to see you again. I want to get a debate going up here with these people that think that things are not as they should be.
Oh, I would love that.
Yeah, we have a debate, and I'm opening that invitation out to you folks. A debate. We're asking for a debate. I am. Come on, talk about what you feel and how you feel about it. And I've already talked to Brother Sam. He's definitely, with serious candidates, would be happy to debate. Okay? We're going to go to commercial, and we're going to come right back. And I want to thank Toya again. Toya, you're a great guest, and I wish you luck. And I hope that you go and take care of the business, get this union back off the ground.
Thank you.
You guys take care of Local 241.
Okay, we will.
We'll be right back.
Thanks.
I'm one unlucky guy. The chance of being involved in a robbery is 1 in 757. The chances of being struck by lightning 1 in 750,000.
Please fasten your seatbelts for unexpected turbulence.
The chances of being a victim in an airline crash 1 in 29 million. Hey, could I get some peanuts? The chances of being involved in a car crash are far greater than lightning strikes and plane crashes. And if you are texting while driving, your risk of crash increases 23 times. Now, I may be an unlucky guy, but I don't have to be part of that statistic, and neither do you. Drive responsibly.
They say that when you're facing extreme danger, your life flashes before you. If you think that's sad, consider facing it before you even have enough life to flash before your eyes. Car crashes are a leading killer of children 1 to 13. Deaths and injuries can be prevented by using the right car seat. Visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat to know what is appropriate for each age and size.
Danse, balance suis la cadence, ondule bien tes hanches, au bal du dimanche. Danse, que la fête commence, dans ma belle robe blanche, je suis ton chou.
You didn't give up on sex. Don't give up on birth control either. There are more methods than you think. Find yours at bedsider.org.
Thank you. We're back, and we had a great time talking to Toy Bowers, who's running for a financial secretary, recording secretary of ATU Local 241. It's young people like that that give me courage that the unions can come back. You know, sometimes I wonder and I look at it, and the reason I fight for it is because I grew up there in those unions, and you know, and we fought so hard to get things for the young people that's coming along behind us, and to see people get in there and give it away and play games and just fall right into the hands of what these Republicans and things want to do, it bothers the heck out of me. But that gives me an inspiration. So Toy Bowers, hey, good. I hope you make it, because you are a inspiration when it comes to taking care of those local unions. I'm back with my guest, Ronnie Roach. Ronnie, I got a lot of things that are on my mind.
Okay.
We got not just elections for ATU Local 241 and ATU Local 308. We also got city elections coming up.
Yes, we have.
And I always say that, like, these red light things is going on. You see, now, you know what? I love this show here because, you know, when I say that we started this crusade on this red light garbage they were doing, you can go back and look at the archives of this show.
Yes, you can.
And you can see that we were the ones that started that.
Yes.
We found them. We knew that they were crooked. And now it's all over the papers, running.
Yes.
So I've seen some things happening.
Yes. When it first came up, we went to the aldermen, several aldermen. They said, "Oh no, this is not happening." And I took it to him and showed it to him.
Sure did.
Now he's on board. He's a voice against this speed cameras now.
Right. And it just goes to show that a lot of time your aldermen and alderwomen just don't know. They're not paying attention. There's no knock against them, but they're not paying close enough attention to what's going on. And so you have to be the voice that go to them and make them aware of it.
Right.
Like some of the things going on in Chicago with the road cops, with the fact that the kids are not getting the education that they should be getting. It starts with who? The alderman.
Right.
The alderman. So in your ward, who is, you got alderman in your district, right?
Anthony Bill.
Anthony Bill?
Yes.
Well, Anthony Bill's a good friend of mine. So I know you go talk to him, right?
Yes, I do.
Do you? He used to bowl with me, and I used to beat him up all the time, you know. So, but I have a lot of legislative friends like that. You know, and you can go to them and talk to them. And what unions have to understand is this. You recall this back in the day when we had problems. What we did was we got buses and we loaded them up with people from the local, right?
Yes, we did.
And then we didn't just stop there. We went and got teachers union people. We went and got some of the service union people. We went down to Springfield when we knew that they were trying to pass some old bogus bill, not just for pensions, but anything that was detrimental to us. And we told them what? If you want your job, you won't vote for that. And you know what? They wanted their jobs.
That's right.
Right?
Yes, they did.
You went down there with us when we did the House Bill 1805. Remember they tried to take, you know.
And we got together, we had a coalition of people. And I mean, and we said, this is not going to happen.
Right.
Now, if you do this, there's an election coming up.
Right.
And I remember on several occasions, you told them, man, we got 5, 10, 15,000 strong out here.
Right.
Now, you make the choice of what you want to do.
That's exactly right.
And you always, they respected you because you were a man of your word. And they had a fear of you not, you know, if I don't do right, they're going to vote against me next election.
Right.
And that's what people have to understand. Like you say, they work for you. Right. You don't work for them.
Right. This is a beautiful country, the way it's constructed.
Yes, it
and
is.
the way the forefathers put it together. But, you know, you have to live by it. Now, if you let people get in there that are crooked and you don't stop them, guess what? They'll destroy your country. They'll destroy your whole country. We are built on laws, and we live by laws.
Yes,
that's what makes us great. We live by laws. Now, one of the things we do, one of the biggest things we have is the vote. We vote people in and out. But when we get so comfortable and so lazy that we don't get up and vote, guess what? They know that.
Yes, they do.
Now, that trickles all the way back down to ATU Local 241 and 308.
Yes, it does.
When the people get so comfortable, and sometimes you spoil them, like you get so much for them, and they're like, well, whatever. Okay, well, don't you know CTA watched that? They know you don't come to union meetings. They know that you don't vote for your guys, and they know that you will vote for anybody, your beer drinking buddy. You know, they know that, so they're happy. Keep you like that. You know, and as long as they can keep you in that duper, they can do anything they wanted to you. And that's what they're doing to you. That's what they used to do, Roach, to a lot of our people when back in the music business, back when you had people like Billie Holiday. They used to drug them up, give them drugs, and you can get them to do anything. You can take everything from them, and they did that. Well, they're not giving you drugs, but they know that you're so comfortable and you're so complacent that they can do these things to you. So they do it to you, you know, but you need a person that's going to step in there that says, no, can't do it.
When you're good at what you do, it looks easy. When you put the time in, you've been in labor your whole life.
Yes.
So people just assume by looking at you, well, he don't look so smart. He did it, I can do it. But they don't realize it took a lot of years. You got a lot of knots on your dome, partner, from fighting and scratching and learning and making mistakes and correcting mistakes. Right. And you got so much from them that they just got lax. Well, so what? I mean, it's good. It's good. And I can do that too. And don't you think that management don't have people out there in your midst that's watching, and they report back and they put somebody on, so you know he did this or he did that, and people are so readily to believe a lie than the truth.
We had to add a little caveat to what you were saying. When we would have union meetings when I was president, and we would talk about some very serious things, the next morning management had it before. They had it the very next morning, because people would sit out there in the audience and run back to management. Well, we knew that. We knew they were doing that. Right. We didn't care because we weren't afraid of management. And we were all on an equal level. Like, I remember when I came in and the biggest problem that, and you can jump in when you want to, biggest problem that unions have today is in our book, ungrateful, is there's no training of the representatives.
None.
You take them off a bus or a train and you put them in there and you say, go get them. You don't give them a gun, anything. Now, you got people over there in management with AK-47s and 357 Magnums, and you come in there into a fight like that, you can't throw rocks at them. And that's all they got coming off the bus and coming off the rail. When we came off, we got extensive training as an executive board member.
Yes,
Do you know they sent me to Minnesota for a whole week?
Yes.
To learn how to represent, put us before a real arbitrator, had us to do the arbitration, not the attorneys, so that we know how it works. I mean, then we went to the downstate to Champaign. They taught you how, to construct grievances and what labor was all about. And here in the city at Roosevelt, you got to train it. And then they sent you to the George Meany Center in Washington, D.C. Now, when we went to places like the George Meany Center, you don't go there to party. You know why? When they put you in a room, you don't have no TV, you don't have no radio. The only good thing about that place was they had good food. I'm not lying. You can't even have your wife come in and sleep, which you had to learn. And they taught you, and you knew what was going on. You knew more than the guys at CTA. You were better equipped. But now, they just throw you out there. But they take, you got to understand this, they take, and that's the members, you got to understand, they take $1.6 million from ATU Local 241. Now, ask yourself, what do they do for that $1.6 million? You have to make them do what they're supposed to do. And you can do it. We used to make them do it. Don't tell me you can't send these guys out for training. We sent you $1.6 million. You can't train my people? You can make them do it. Things like that, and there are other things that you can do to make CTA jump. When you do a contract, and that's what happened here. I looked at the last contract. We talked about this the last time, you and I.
Yes, we did.
The last contract I did, we got 16% pay increase.
Yes, we did.
That's $3 an hour. You didn't have no increase in health care benefits. Didn't allow that. Then you also got an increase in your pension formula.
Yes, we did.
And your pension cap. And then your pension cap. So you didn't get, you got all the money that you got, you took home.
Right.
Now the last contract they did I think a 10.2% increase.
Yes.
But CTA took out almost 11% in health care. So you're actually taking home less money than when you got the contract. You can look this up yourself, folks. Look at your contract. Look at your check before you got your contract. Okay. And then look at what look at what you were taking home before you got your contract. Then look at what you're taking home now. And you'll see exactly what's going on. And people say, how can you stop that? Easy. Easy. You just don't allow them to do it.
Don't allow them to do it.
Ronnie, and
when we
wrap it up and
we discussed this.
Okay.
They're taking home $35 less.
Yes.
With the 10.2% increase.
Yes.
Than they're actually taking home before they got the increase. They'll be taking home, when it's over, they'll be taking home something between $32 and $35 less a payday.
Well, and you can do that yourself. You can wrap that up. We're going to wrap it up. We're going to let you go and do that work yourself, or between now and the next 2 or 3 weeks, we'll probably just give it to you so you can see for yourself. This is what's happening to you. Wake up. Wake up, ATU. Wake up. Next week, we're going to have, hopefully we're going to try to get a couple of other people on. And we're going to have, hopefully, Ms. Matthews, I think, is running for office. And Brother Sams has been on before. We're going to try to see if we can corral him. He's out there campaigning and doing the things he needs to do. This is a gentleman I have a lot of respect for. And in the upcoming weeks, we're going to have some great guests from places like, I was telling you, Dalton. We're going to have Bob Fioretti. We're about to get him on the show. He's running for mayor of Chicago. Can't get it all in because we don't have enough time. We're going to see you next week. We'll talk about it then.